for anyone who is watching this or listening to this right now, why should they be listening to you? Tell them this stuff.
Because I
sorry if that's putting you on the spot.
No, not at all.
I know why.
Yeah,
so
because I'm not just talking the talk. I walk the walk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a PWLE. I'm a person with lived experience. I went through the struggles of living in that world, of the way I spoke to myself and what it cost me. I mean, I went from Park Avenue to Park Bench. I lost everything. I even almost lost my life. I was emotionally, financially, and spiritually bankrupt. I had my dream job in the financial industry as a stockbroker. Early 2000s, I'm 25 years old, making 7 figures a year. I should feel like I'm on top of the world at this point. But 7 figures a year? Nah, that wasn't good enough. Because I live in a world with a belief system of never enough. I wanted more. I wanted 8 figures or 9 figures. I'm chasing that fast life. And at this point in my life, being spiritually bankrupt, money was the only higher power that I know. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make more money. I'm putting in late nights at my office one evening. And this dude, we call him Johnny Connect. We called him that because he had the connections to get his hands on anything you can imagine. And keep in mind, we're in New York. So this dude swears he's part of the mafia. He sits down at my desk and he says, "Hey, Joe, you think you're a top producer now? Take this little round pill and forget about it. You're going to produce even more." Wall Street is also known as Drug Street. And everybody's doing some kind of drug. I'm already smoking weed, drinking, or having some kind of mind-altering substance in my body every single day for the past 15 years at this point. So I said, fuck it, why not? And that's when I got introduced to opiates. And that's when my battle with substance abuse took off to the next level. My life goes dark and becomes completely unmanageable. I'm risking my life every single day. I overdosed twice. The last time, it took 6 cans of Narcan to bring me back to life. 6 fucking cans of Narcan. That same night, I'm laying in the hospital bed. I wake up. I pull the EKG electrodes off my body. Leave the hospital against medical advice. And then when I get outside, Steve, it's the middle of winter. I'm in a hospital gown. And I'm shivering, looking like a crackhead, like Pookie from New Jack City, because of all the opiates that were being taken out of my system. And the first thing that I do, I go call the dealer again to go get high. Mm. A week or two later, my sister invited me for an event. And the last thing I wanted to do was go to some motivational event to hear some rah-rah. But something inside of me pulled me to go. And at that event, I don't remember exactly what it was, but something cracked open. I looked at my sister. She looked at me. And we both started crying. She knew exactly what I was going to say. And then the words came out. The words my family was waiting to hear for over a decade. I said, I don't want to do this anymore, sis. I'm a shell of my true self. I'm tired of writing my obituary. I wanted to begin creating my legacy. And after that, I made the most important decision of my life to go get sober. You know, and my story is not unique. Many people struggle with vices. Mine was drugs and alcohol. Someone else might be gambling, sex, shopping, overeating, whatever that vice is. It interferes with us being our true self by having us isolate, not being fully present. It creates character defects. For some, life may become unmanageable. They may lack direction. Some people lose motivation and their self-esteem. But I promise you, you don't got to live like that. You know, there's a better way to live life. And I'm living proof Because when you find and live in your purpose, that's when the real comeback begins. But it's not an overnight success, right? I mean, it took me nearly a decade to regain control of the steering wheel in my life. Over the years, I had a lot of coaches, did a lot of self-help programs. Some worked, some didn't work. However, I was able to put together some powerful strategies that helped me build a foundation to create my own destiny. And I believe that finding and living in your purpose is the ultimate comeback code. It transforms spiritual alignment into unstoppable success. You know, and I've done a lot of work. So I don't just talk the talk. I walk the walk. Like I immerse myself in the business. I'm a student of the game. You know what I mean? So I don't just go out there and speak to audiences and coach people. I did the work to get to where I'm at. This took years and years of putting things together, throwing things out, seeing what sticks, seeing what doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, people think that it was just like, oh, all of a sudden I'm a speaker. No, man. I after achieving sobriety, I was able to build another successful business in the financial industry. And even though I was crushing it and living this incredible life, something was still missing, bro. And God kept nudging at me and pulling at me, telling me that my journey is not complete and that I had more to accomplish in life. And for years after getting sober, I kept asking God, man, how do I give this back to you? I can't give it back to you in a physical form. You don't exist physically. There's not enough thank yous in the world to express the amount of gratitude that I have for you saving my life. Not just the 2 times that I overdosed. What about all those times that I drove home and don't remember how I got home? Or what about those times where I was in a hotel room where I should have ended up dead, but I walked out alive? I mean, those aren't coincidences. Those are God incidences. But through this journey of personal development and sobriety, I learned the big difference between religion and spirituality. And I learned to build a relationship with my higher source that I call God. And I learned that believing something greater than myself to help me unlock my fullest potential is vital for my success. But I also learned that spirituality is about being able to sit with myself and connect with my thoughts and connect with God when he connects with me through different avenues of life. And as I kept asking that question of how do I give it back, that still voice got stronger and deeper. And God kept telling me, you know that story that you got inside you? The one I saved your life for? That story don't belong to you. I didn't give you that story for you to hold it inside. I gave it to you so you go out there and create impact with it. You hold that story inside, you're just being selfish. I didn't create you to be selfish. And that's when I said, enough's enough. I'm not going to argue with the man upstairs because I'm not going to win that battle. And that's when I decided to build this speaking and coaching platform. But let me be real with you, man. That decision, it didn't come easy, man. It meant stepping away from the comfort of big checks in boardrooms. It meant trading in my power suits for raw vulnerability. It meant putting my scars on the line for the world to judge. I didn't want to tell the world about the times that I overdosed and the time I didn't feel like getting out of bed. But that's what true surrender is, you know. And I learned a long time ago that, you know, faith and fear can be looked at very similar. Something you can't touch, you can't feel, but you know it exists. The big difference is, you know, fear locks you into survival mode. Faith will build legacies. And, you know, fear will build that prison around you. We've all faced fear, right? We've all dealt with fear. It builds a prison around you. Faith, you know, builds empires. So I chose to lean into my faith to overcome my fear. Because that's where real freedom lives, man.
That's a pretty damn good reason to listen.